Everyone, the Pokemon fan 1993 back with more Pokemon TCG Pocket. So, during our last one, I mentioned there was an event that I didn't realize dropped, so I've been working on that. So, this video is going to consist of 3 different videos I'm going to stitch together using some kind of editing software. This deck was kind of hard to get around. It is the Landorus EX deck. So, basically, Landorus EX, not Landorus, Zygarde EX. So, basically, in order to beat the 3 hardest requirements of the Zygarde EX deck, you need to win this battle with any Pokemon EX in your deck, win this Pokemon with 1 or more Mega Evolution Pokemon EX including your deck, and win this battle with 12 more Pulsing Aura cards including your deck. To that end, I had to create 3 separate decks. The reason I had to do this is because, well, because you're fighting a fighting deck, you really can't include cardless Pokemon because they're weak to it. The hardest part about this Zygarde deck is the fact that he can swap in and out very, very frequently. Zygarde EX itself is 170 HP fighting. Land Lizard takes 3 fighting energy, 100 times. He flips 2 coins. It takes 100 for each heads. He also has several Pokemon like Lucario and several cards that will basically increase the amount of damage he does. So, because his strongest amount relies a lot on coin flips, if he gets that amount out first and doesn't retreat it, basically, as long as he isn't lucky enough to, because you can get, I don't know what it is with this game, but you can get tails a lot more than you can get heads. I don't think it's 50, I think it's like 75, 20, 25. But I had to create 6 separate decks in order for me to get through all of this stuff, because this deck does not include a lot of one element. So I had to, like, mess with a few things. The first deck we're going to try to use is this one. Actually, I don't think... Okay, so this is a deck that has the 12 Pulsing Aura cards in it. I'm going to show you guys how you can check to make sure you have a Pulsing Aura. All your cards are Pulsing Aura. Basically, you go into your search settings here. You go into Booster Packs at the very bottom. You click Pulsing Aura, X, hit OK. It brings up everything. Now, this really doesn't show you much, but if you go down to the cards you have, then you can kind of count how many cards. So you can see I have 2 Gligar, 2 Gliscor for 4, 1 Sawk for 5, 2 Dweeble and 2 Crustle for 9, 2 Sandaconda, and 2 Silicobra, which brings me up to 13. That's all the cards I need. So, I had to, like I said, I had to optimize. Couldn't really optimize the deck fully. But we have Sawk, we have Gligar, whoops, 2 Gligar, we have Gliscor, we have Dweeble. Crustle is hard to get because you have to pull them for this. I basically chose Crustle over Lucario because Crustle can take a shot, even from enhanced attacks. Lucario only having 130 HP is a bit of a problem. We have Carbink. This is basically just here to possibly prevent damage in case we're in a bad spot. We have Silicobra and Sandaconda. The reason I chose Sandaconda was because he allows you to basically flip a coin. If basically uses on a Zygarde, he has flip a coin. If he gets tails the first time, the attack does nothing. And then you flip 2 more times to see if it does any actual damage. So I figured, okay, that's a pretty good combination. Then we have the Pokeball. Plus Rearch to draw 2 cards. Leaf to retreat, Pokemon with 2 retreat costs or less. Cyrus to throw a Pokemon in because he likes to retreat a lot. And then we have Korrina. Basically what this allows me to do is, if a Pokemon I'm fighting is an EX, and I'm using a fighting mon myself, it does plus 30 damage. Like I said, all these decks, just like all the other ones, are really hit or miss, depending on what he draws. The hardest part about this deck is his Lucario likes to deal extra damage with a fighting EX-Mon, and then he has Hitmonchan with 1 retreat cost, 1 energy that does 50, and then if he gets Lucario on his bench, then basically do 70 per hit. And if he gets that really early and you can't do anything, then you're basically screwed. There's nothing you can do. So we start with Hitmonchan EX, that's not a very good start. And you start with Zygarde EX too, that's not a good start either. So this comes down to what we grab. I'm going to try to host most of this myself, because sometimes the AI does certain things I don't like it really doing. So we're going to play Pokeball. Add the random basic card from my deck to my hand. Okay, that's pretty fine. We're going to put Carbink on the bench. And we can't attack my first thing, we're going to end our turn. Go through an auto. I'm going to see what the AI decides to do. So this is one of the things, but this works with us too, because it allows me to do fighting damage to more of the Pokemon EX. So if they use the EX as well, since I have a fighting team myself, I can actually take advantage of that too. It does 20 extra damage. This is not looking good. He's going to do 50 right off the bat. Okay, good Crustle. That's pretty good. So we're going to attach an energy to Crustle, or to Dweeble. We're going to go with the Crustle. We're going to put a Silicobra on the bench, and we're going to end our turn. He's going to take out Gligar. That's definitely not going to be a... There's no way really around that one. Plays Pokeball to add a random card to his hand. Basic card. He's going to Hitmonchan EX, which is a problem. He's going to use Quick Straight again. Now, the only problem we have here is he's going to do 70 Crustle every single time. And by the time while he's doing this, he can put energy on his Zygarde. So the problem with his deck, the biggest flaw with his deck, is it has way too much advanced cards. And on top of that, he has no way to attach actual energy to his Mons other than attaching them normally. Which, you know, normally isn't a big deal. A lot of his Mons only take 1 or 2 energy, but Zygarde takes 3, meaning basically he'll always throw Hitmonchan EX out to draw time for Zygarde in order to do his thing. So now we have Boulder Crush. We can do 110 damage. I think actually we can do, yeah, we're going to do 110 damage. So that's, he's either going to retreat his Hitmonchan to his bench or put another Hitmonchan in, or he's going to throw Zygarde in. He has 2 cards that allow him to, trainer cards that allow him to switch his active Pokemon with a bench Pokemon. So there is that. So I'm going to guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock out his Pokemon this turn. He's going to go for his Land Laser. Unfortunately, I put myself in a bad position. If he decides to use that attack and I actually get killed by it, then it's over. I'm going to use Boulder Crush again. No point in using the supporter card quite yet. That kills Hitmonchan EX. So he's going to get his Land Laser attack this turn. And by the way, the Stadium card only does damage, extra damage, if you actually manage to do any damage at all. So he gets 2 tails, it's not going to happen. Alright, he won. Because he even got 2. So he's going to do like 260 damage with this attack. 270. See? It's kind of crazy because he can just keep enhancing. He makes up for the bad energy with a ridiculous amount of power behind his deck. Like I said, that was the worst example. Optimally, you want him to start with Zygarde, because that means that he takes turns in order to do that. He can play the supporter cards, allow him to attach, or allow him to switch Pokemon out, but normally he'll use that when a Pokemon is low on HP. So, like I said, there's a lot of ifs in this battle. A lot of it relies on coin flips. I don't like relying on coin flips, and neither does, but I think coin flips are like the biggest problem, just in TCG in general. Like, too much stuff relies on coin flips. Just for example, almost every static edition relies on a coin flip, almost every single one. Attacks rely on it, a lot of things rely on it, and I don't like the idea. Okay, so we got Hitmonchan EX again. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to concede this. I don't want him to start with Hitmonchan EX. That's the thing you do not want him to start with, because he can deal... Him dealing under 50 damage is alright in certain situations, but considering if you don't have like a Pokemon in your hand to evolve your Pokemon immediately, it's going to die in 2 turns. So there is that. So we're going to actually... we're basically going to keep trying until he gets to a point where he's not going to have Hitmonchan in his deck, or if I get a really good hand, or a combination of both of them. But like I said, if I try to do all 3 decks in one video without stopping, it means that the video could be over an hour long, and I'm not going to do that. I am not getting good luck with the Hulk going first at all. Alright, so let's see what I got. We start with we're going to start with a Carbink. Unfortunately, our hand is not looking very good. He started with Rail. Okay, this is not a bad start either. Okay. Still not a good start with our hand, but I can put a Carbink on the bench, put Dweeble on the bench, and end my turn. So this we're going to be used, but I don't, there's no point even trying to use it. So he's going to play Pokeball. He plays Hitmonchan on the bench, so I don't know what how he's gonna handle this. Okay. So I thought maybe he might throw an energy on Real, retreat to Hitmonchan, and attack me next turn. I'm not sure how he's gonna handle that. So our hand is not looking very good. We're gonna put an energy on Carbink and end our turn. Still no use for using Korrina quite yet. Okay, so Lucario. So now he can do his Submissive Blow, which is a bunch of more damage because he has the ability. So we're putting energy on Carbink, and basically this is going to come down to whether I get it's going to do 30, and then I flip a coin. If I get tails, yeah, the match is over. So if I got head to prevent all damage, but I don't have anything in my hand, and he's setting up too quickly for me to do anything. Said this is supposed to be the Pulsing Aura cards, but the Pulsing Aura cards are just, if you can't use colorless cards, there's not enough of one card for you to make a decent deck. And that's why there's also a separate deck with an EX without EX in it, and there's another separate deck with a Mega Evolution in it, because I was looking for like a Psychic Mega Evolution. They don't, either they don't have it in this set, or I just haven't acquired one yet. That'd make it a whole lot easier. I tried a Grass deck too, but at first it worked for other difficulties because, how do I say this? Because they mostly relied on Pokemon that were weak to Grass, but now they all rely on too much power to you know, how do I explain it? They all too many psychic weakness for it to be reliable anymore. So we got a decent hand. I kind of wish we would have drawn a Gliscor, but he got a pretty shitty start too. So that's probably gonna hit Hitmonchan right to his bench. Play Press Research to draw another 2. So he's used the supporter card this entire game. He put Zygarde in it on his bench. Okay, he did not get what I thought he was going to get, so that's something. Okay, we got Gliscor, so we're doing pretty good so far. So he's going to attach an energy to Gliscor. He's going to go for Pierce for 40. As long as it didn't draw Lucario, I think we're fine so far. It'd be really useful if I mean, okay, so he's swapping Zygarde in, which I guess he's just doing that to avoid we'll get knocked out. Now, I have to mention something about this deck, is that Zygarde EX actually isn't a Mega Evolution, so you can't just one-shot it, you can't just kill it and win the match. Because he's not, it only counts for two prize points and not 1. So, the good news is I can do this, and then I can use actually use Cyrus to force his Rearch back into the game. We're putting energy on Carbink, and we're going to attack with Pierce, which is going to do enough damage to knock out the Rearch. So far we got rid of his support. He might have another Riolu and Lucario combo in his deck. So there's 1 point. He's going to put Zygarde in play, so he could potentially hit me in 1 turn and knock me out. So let's see what happens. There's the heads he got. Let me guess, he got 2. So now, of course, now that I'm recording, he's going to constantly get heads over and over and over again, because that's how everything works. You could say, oh, I can beat this guy, and then you go to record it, and all of a sudden you can't beat the guy. It's like a bullshit fighting game. Alright. So we got Sawk in play, so we can put that on the bench. We can put an energy on Carbink. We're going to play Korrina just to do a little extra damage. And then we're going to do Hard Roll. That's going to do 60. This turn, anyway. Flip a coin. We got a heads, so he can't deal damage to us next turn. And this includes, by the way, not Pokemon that are attacking. Every Pokemon can't hurt him this turn, so. Okay, so you got 1 head. So it would have knocked out Carbink if I didn't have that shield up. We got Sandaconda. Okay, so we have an honest shot now, I think. Because it really comes down to, well, it could come down to how lucky I am with Hard Roll. Okay, so I'm not that lucky. But what I can do is, actually it's gonna be hard. It really comes down to what he does. I'm hoping he gets. Okay, nope, he got the 1 head. So, all right. So we have a potential problem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm put Sandaconda in play. Okay. So I can't do anything with Sandaconda. I have no way to attach other energy, but I can play Professor's Research to actually do something about that. So we're going to play Professor's Research. Got a Pokeball and Dweeble. We're going to play Pokeball to add a random base of Pokemon for our deck to our hand. Got another Silicobra. We're going to put Silicobra on the bench. We're going to attach an energy to Sandaconda. Unfortunately, Super Sand Attack takes more energy, so we get to end our turn. So he could, if he gets 2 heads this turn, it's over. Actually, if he gets 1 now, it's over. So I got a feeling he's just gonna get it. Yep, there it is. So the game's over. Because he's gonna do so much damage with just 1 land laser. No, actually, oh, that's right. It does damage to EX, not. Okay. We still have a small chance here. I'm not gonna guarantee nothing. But if we happen to, this is gonna come down to a lot of stuff. By the way, with that thing in play, it means now that I can do a little more extra damage. So I'm going to guess what he's going to do here. He's going to swap, and then, yeah, it's over then. Because he swaps to him, he's going to kill him, so there's nothing I can do about that. If he didn't draw Hitmonchan right there, I might have had a shot. Because my logic would be that he would switch to the other Zygarde, he'd have to take energy to it, and then he'd have to get the heads, tails, whatever in order for him to beat me. If he didn't draw Hitmonchan at that exact moment, it would have been a thing. That Hitmonchan's way too strong anyway, even for being just an EX card. 1 energy, 50 damage is still a lot. So we're going to try again. I suppose if you hear that in the background, by the way, that's my fan running because it's actually kind of hot out today. We don't have our ACs in quite yet because we need someone to help us with it, but no one seems to be available, so... Alright, so, what do we start with? Okay, we're going to start with Gligar. We actually got a decent hand here. We're going to hit start battle. Unfortunately, start with Hitmonchan, which is not good. And we get our first... Yeah, it's over then. If we were able to attach our energy first, not a problem. But I think he's just going to deal way too much damage. He would only need 1 turn to knock out my Gliscor. And even on that turn, I wouldn't be able to switch to anything. Yeah. I understand these are supposed to be difficult, but... Like I said, every single one seems to be overly difficult. Like, if you don't play this game, at least to draw the packs every day, you have no chance of beating some of these guys at the highest level. Some of these AI decks. This is probably the hardest one to win with, though, in terms of all of them. Because I have a Psychic deck for the non-EX, and then I have a Fire deck for the Mega. So it's not crazy bad to see it. Okay, we actually got a decent start. I kind of wish he wouldn't start with Dweeble. Oh, wait a minute. I'm switching off auto. He gets first, and he has to start with Zygarde. That might be good for us. Because like I said, it's going to take him forever to get the energy on Zygarde. So we're going to see what he does. So what I want to have happen here, I want him to put energy on Zygarde next turn and him do nothing, because that would be the optimal thing for him to do. We're attaching energy to Dweeble, and we're going to attack. If he puts his energy on Hitmonchan and swaps, then I think it's over immediately. But it really comes down to what the AI decides he wants to do. With it not being in danger, I can't imagine... Oh, fucking... Really? Alright. I was about to surrender, but I might still have a small shot here. Twister's going to do 50. We're attaching energy. We're going to evolve Gligar into Gliscor. We're going to put an energy on Dweeble, and we can evolve him now. So we're going to do that. Crustle's in play. We just got to make sure Crustle does not get... Because if it gets knocked out, then the game's over. We're going to do Boulder Crush for 90. So the only good thing about him switching is that he still needs to take 3 turns to get a Zygarde in play. He's going to do a little extra damage now. Which thankfully is not enough to knock me out. So we're still clear. Actually, Crustle would be fine getting knocked out at this point, actually. Alright, so we actually got a good combo here. We're going to put Silicobra on the bench. We're going to attach an Energy Silicobra. And then we're going to attack with Crustle. It's going to knock out his Hitmonchan and give us 2 points. So Zygarde needs 1 more turn to use its attack. By the way, this match can be very easy by getting very lucky. I even had one where he just threw out Rio, and that's all he had for basic Pokemon. So he's going to attach an energy to Zygarde this turn. At least I think he's going to. He can't swap out now that he used that card. So he's going to attach an energy to Zygarde eventually. And then he's going to basically end his turn because he has nothing else he can do. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to evolve Silicobra into Sandaconda. We're going to attach an energy to Sandaconda, and we're going to go for Boulder Crush. So what I want to have happen here, I want him to attack, whether he deals damage or not, and I can kill him next turn. Nope, he's going to be a little bitch. Alright. If he kept him in play, it would have been fine. Alright, so now it's going to be what he does next. Because it could come down to another, like I said, a coin flip, depending on what I get for Silicobra. So we're going to put an energy on Silicobra, we're going to put a Dweeble in play, and we're going to use Sand Spit Attack. This is going to do 70, which is about half his HP, give or take. And the next turn, he flips the coin. If Tails, the attack doesn't happen. If he decides not to swap out, he's fine. He swapped out again. So basically, he's just trying to, now this is going to come down to a coin flip. So let's see what happens. He got 2. So there's the bullshit right there. If you would have got 1, I would have been fine, because it would have only done 120. We're going to keep trying, but that's probably the best instance I'm going to get of me even getting anywhere near close to him. But you can see what I'm talking about, right? Coin flips. I have such a hard time believing... Like, this game is not like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or it's less luck-based, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really bad. I haven't played Magic in so long, I don't even know what the hell luck-based is in that game anymore. Because I never fully 100% learned all the rules. But I would say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably the most toxic and most RNG-based card game almost of all time in terms of the trading card games. Maybe there's others. I heard there's one called Corona or something like that. I don't know how bad that one is. But I've also played Digimon, a little bit of Digimon, the card game. So, what's he starting with here? Okay. Not bad. And he doesn't get to attach an energy in his first turn. Let's see what he grabs. So that's going to add Zygarde or Hitmonchan to his hand. Gonna draw 2 more cards. Play Pokeball. Hitmonchan EX. Alright. Play a Pokeball of our own. Add Dweeble to our hand. Put Dweeble on the bench. Put an energy on Silicobra. And end the turn. There's nothing else we can do. So let's see what his... Okay. Alright, so that's what I was afraid he was going to do. But, this turning a lot better than... Okay, maybe not. So it's going to come down to another luck-based thing again. But I can't evolve Sandaconda. I can play an Energy Insane Cobra and play Professor's Research to draw 2 more cards. There's Cyrus. That might come in handy. We got Dweeble or Crustle EX now. So let's see what happens. He's going to do 70 damage on my next turn. Nope. Wait. I'm not sure. What is... Okay, so it's going to do 70 damage. Alright. Which is half my HP. Not that good of a start, but we still have a few shots here. So we're going to attach an energy to Sandaconda, my bad. We are going to play Korrina to deal a little bit extra damage to him. I'm going to use Super Sand Spit attack. This does almost his full HP, and he gets a thing. So considering his energy setup right now, I'm not sure what's going to happen. That was the worst case scenario. Okay, he got a heads. That was the worst case scenario. If we got a tails, then fine. So now essentially what we're doing is we're playing another more luck-based shit. We're going to put Carbink in play. Attach an energy Crustle EX. We're going to put Gligar on the bench. We're going to end our turn. So let's see what his next move is. He's going to do 90 to Carbink right off rip. So that's going to come down, once again, down to coin flips. It would take me 2 attacks to knock that Zygarde out. But I do have one possible backup strategy. I'm not sure if it's going to... It really comes down to what he does. Put Dweeble on the bench. We're going to use Boulder Crush to knock out his Hitmonchan. $110, which is a lot. That gives us 2 points. So let's see what happens. Okay, that's a slight problem. So how many heads is he going to get? 1. Okay, 1. I don't think it's enough to knock him out. It is, because of all the fuck... You can see why this is frustrating. Because if he just gets 2 heads, in any situation, the game's over. There's no Pokemon that has over 250 HP in this game. I think I prefer Medicham over this. At least at Medicham, at least with the Mega Medicham, you could at least make it possible. But this is relying on coin flips. It's the stupidest thing I think Pokemon's ever done, and they continue to constantly do it. I think what they should have done is that they should have manned Land Laser 100, And then if it has one extra attack, it should do an extra 50. I think that would have been acceptable instead of making it 2 hits for possible 200 points of damage. So we're going to try one more time here. If not, then screw me, because I don't know what else to do. I'll admit it took me quite a few times the first time to do it, but not like to the point where it was absolutely super frustrating that I wanted to just jump out of the game and not play anymore. Okay, so we got a decent hand. I'm kind of pissed we didn't get her the first round, because if we'd done, we would have been in a lot better situation. We're going to play versus Research to draw 2 cards. Got Sandaconda and Pokeball. We're going to play Pokeball. Get Carbink. Put Carbink on the bench and end our turn. He gets to draw 2 cards as well. Puts Giant Cape on Riolu. Nothing else to play though. We might have caught a small break here. Alright, so we're going to put an energy on Sawk. We're going to put Gligar on the bench. We're going to evolve Dweeble into Sandaconda. And we're going to use Brick Break. So this just does 30 damage. So if a Pokemon said that if a Pokemon was protecting itself, Brick Break would go right through that. It wouldn't be affected by any shielding or any damage reducing. He's going to play both those again. Puts Riolu on his bench. Puts Zygarde EX on his bench. He needs Punch to deal 40 damage. We're going to put an energy on Sandaconda. We're going to evolve Gligar into Gliscor. And we're going to use Brick Break. So there's several things he could do here. He could swap to something else. Or he could just let his Riolu die. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing. So there's that. But it looks like that's not even coming to play because I'm not using any EX cards. So he's going to hit with Riolu. I'm going to put an energy on Sandaconda. I'm basically just going to hit him with a Brick Break to knock him out. He's going to switch to Zygarde. And we're going to see what happens. Unless he's not switching to Zygarde, he might switch to Riolu instead. If I was him, I'd switch to Riolu. Okay, that's what he's planning on doing. So he's probably looking for that one card that's going to let him switch Mons. That's fine. We're going to put an energy on Sandaconda. Use Brick Break to deal some damage. Okay, he hasn't done anything else yet, so he must not have the card he needs. Korrina, that's pretty good. I'm putting energy on Gliscor, and we're going to attack with Brick Break again. Suck's actually doing quite a bit of lifting here. He's probably waiting for that one card to let him swap Mons. Hitmonchan on the bench. He might just put energy. I don't know what he's going to do. Because there's Lyra. I was expecting him to do that. He put Hitmonchan in play. That's something I wasn't expecting, actually. I was expecting him to do something else. Quick Straight for 70 damage. For 1 point. We're going to put Sandaconda in play. If I draw a Cyrus, I'm in good shape here. But we're going to put a Dweeble on the bench. We're going to attach an energy to Carbink. I'm going to use Super Sand Attack. This is going to do 90, actually. Hang on. Should I? No, hang on a sec. I'm actually going to use Korrina here. This should force him to retreat, I would think. To make it so he can't attack next turn. But if I manage to draw Cyrus very soon here, I might still have a shot. So he plays Lyra. Okay. So he's going to put Zygarde EX in play. So again, does it come down to how lucky he is with coin flips. There's one heads. Oh my fucking... See why I have such a problem with this game? It rewards luck. Almost to an excruciating degree. But I drew Cyrus. So guess what, dude? You. So he got lucky, but so did I. So that's it, guys. I Pierce. He took too long attaching energy. And that's going to give me my last 2 points. So screw you, dude. It looks like one is all real else I needed. Alright. Sorry going over my entire thing. I'm going to put it in the description of the video below, along with the other 2 decks I'm going to do. But that's how that was for beating the thing with technically 12, at least 12 cards in your deck. That was 13. But I guess I'll switch to the next deck, and I'll see you guys later.